Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC video. I'm your host, Jose Rocks, and today I have an interesting ranking video for you guys. So we're gonna be ranking the new, well, it's not new Regulation H, but the return of Regulation H. This is actually gonna be strictly for on in-person tournaments. So the new format that was announced is Regulation J. But since it includes mythicals and it's after worlds, they're not going to be having any official tournaments using that format. That's only going to be for the rank ladder online. So this regulation H is actually back for in-person tournaments for like Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, those regionals that are coming up, and some of the I think Dortmund or something like that. Some of the other regionals across the seas and stuff like that. So I did want to go ahead and do a updated tier list for these because last time we ranked them right before Regulation H started, and now that we had it was about 4 months of Regulation H. Now that it's returning, I want to go ahead and rank these mons in based off how they played in the last format, right? Because now we have a better kind of understanding of how good they are. So as I'm going through the list, we have our S tier, which is must have answers for the busted. Those are going to be like some of the best mons in the format. They are very busted. You really have to think about them where you're building your team around. Whatever you're building your team around, you have to think about these mons that have answers to them, right? The next one is going to be A tier, which is going to be good on every team. These are winners. These are going to be those mons that when you have a team that you feel like is good or something that you want to build around your favorite mon, you're going to want to slot these mons in because they play like really good roles. They add to your team and make them win, and they don't really subtract anything away. These are going to be just some really reliable mons. Next is going to be B tier. These are going to be reliable, plays the role well. These are going to be some of the role mons that they fit on specific teams and they function really well and they kind of round out those teams. Very similar to A, but a tier down. The next we have C tier. These are going to be those niche mons. These are going to be the ones that they're actually pretty good. They're good enough to be like B, but they only fit on one type of team. So we're gonna put those in those tiers because they're not really flexible, and you can't really slot them on the other teams like you can with the B, A, and S. Next is going to be D tier. These are going to be mons that are pretty decent, but there's something that's just like it that does a job a bit better. So they're wannabes. They're not necessarily bad mons. You can make them work if you just want to use them, but just know that there's something out there that'll be doing their job just a little bit better. Next we have F tier. That's also going to be if you want to win, don't use these mons. They're unviable. These are going to be the ones that are really hard to win with. You could probably try to give them a try if they're like your favorite mon and build a team around it, but it's going to be very hard. You're going to be playing from downhill, playing uphill pretty much in order to win your games. Now you can win with them in certain cases, but it is going to be a lot harder to find success with these mons. So we're going to go ahead and get into this list. Of course, it's already organized. I think it's organized by generation plus like some of the different forms. So we'll start with the Gen 1. We have Venusaur. So Venusaur, I want to say is C tier for me. Venusaur fits on sun teams. You're not really gonna see it outside of it. I've seen like maybe one time a Venusaur on like a rain team just to help counter sun teams. But other than that, you mostly see it on sun teams. In Dynamax Gen 9, Gen 8, it was super good. It probably was an S tier in Dynamax, right? Because you get the max Vine Lash, you super fast, grass coverage just fits on a sun team. It just functions really well. I'm gonna say Charizard. While it does only fit on Sun teams, uh, Marco Silva showed that it is a really powerful mon with choice specs in the Sun. So I'm gonna say that it plays its role as being a Sun sweeper pretty well and put it in reliable. With a choice scarf, it's really good in this format because there's not a lot of things that can outspeed Charizard with a choice scarf unless they're like on Tailwind just naturally or like you have something like Electrode. But other than that, choice specs, choice scarf, pretty good set. Really good in the Sun. Plays its role as a Sun sweeper. I'm gonna say Blastoise is I'd say is D tier. Um it wants to be like a rain sweeper, but there's just other mons that actually can take advantage of the rain a lot better. They have like Swift some things like Basculesian, even Golduck is a little bit better, right? So while it does get Rain Dish, it plays like a unique bulky water type. You almost always want to use the Shell Smash set plus Rain, which you can just use, a speed boosting mon with Swift Swim, right? and just hit just like pretty much similarly just as hard in the rain, and you don't have to take a turn to set up or support it like that, right? So I want to say Blastoise would be D tier. Arbok is F tier. It does get intimidate, but it doesn't really do anything other than that. It's super slow. It doesn't hit that hard. It's a poison type. You could probably try to build it on like a Team Rocket team like we did in the previous Regulation H. But other than that, it's just for like memes and stuff. Pikachu. I think Pikachu's D tier. You much rather want to use Raichu because you can take advantage of the Focus Sash. Pikachu always want to run the Light Ball. While it does have a lot of damage output, it can help you like support, like things like very powerful water type attackers that want to be protected from electric type coverage. But this format usually doesn't have a lot of Regulation H usually doesn't have a lot of electric types that you really have to use Pikachu for. Like some of the most common ones are things like Electabuzz, right? I can't even think of any other Palmont. Those are like some of the most common electric types. Kilowattrel. They're not that common, so it really reduces Pikachu's niche, and Raichu is just a little bit better. Raichu is also going to be in the niche tier. I think that it fits on teams that really want to support the waters. But like I said, there's not a lot of powerful electric types running around. Raichu's value kind of goes up in a restricted format where you have things like Miraidon, because that's where you're really going to want to keep it the electric type coverage away from it. Things like Iron Hands too. Alolan Raichu. I hate to rank this so low because I just found love for this mon simply because I use it on the Miraidon team and it's really strong. It has so much utility. A lot of people don't really see a lot of use in it. In this format, it's only going to be able to play with Pichurin, and I think that you just much rather use Raichu because you don't really have any way to set up electric terrain other than that, unless you use like Prankster Thundurus. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. If it was Regulation I'd probably put it in B tier because I've had a lot of success with it with that team. I had a lot of fun using it with Miraidon, and it just offers so much utility and speed, and it's actually is a little bit better than Iron Bundle in my opinion. From me playing with it. Sandslash F tier. You can use it on the sand team, but it's not that good. Just use like Lycanroc or use Escadrille. They're just better sand sweepers. Um, Alolan Sandslash, I'm gonna say it's C tier. It's a little bit better. It has a unique typing of Ice and Steel. It works on as a what's it called? Slush Rush. I think it's a bit better than Baratic because of the Steel typing. It is 4 times weak to fire, but you have terrestrialization, right? So it's a little bit better. So I'll say that it's C tier. Fits on those snow teams. Clefairy, B tier. Really good redirector. Clefable, it was really good in the beginning of Regulation H. I still think it's okay. It gets unaware. It gets misty terrain. It makes it really difficult for your opponent to like attack into your mons because it protects them very well. With the power level being lower, it's harder to remove. So I want to say they're both B tier redirectors. Um, Ninetales, C tier, Sunsetter. Alolan Ninetales is S tier. Now this mod is so good in this format. Ice coverage plus setting up the snow to make it itself bulkier on the defensive side, like passively getting bulkier on the defensive side, so you can take a lot of hits. Being part fairy, so you're immune to a lot of the dragons that run around Regulation H. Ice coverage is so good and just being really fast. Works really well with choice specs. Works well with focus sash. Works well with you can use mental hurt so they can't taunt you. You can use encore. It just has a lot of different sets that it can run. Has a lot of flexibility, and I think it's one mind that you have to prepare for, and it can single-handedly just turn games on their head. It's good at playing from behind because you have the opportunity to freeze your opponent at any given time when you're clicking Blizzard, which is just kind of threatening when you think about it. Wigglytuff, competitive, that's it. I think it's F tier. Vileplume, Sunsweeper with Chlorophyll, I think it's F tier. Um, I don't think it's that good. Blossom, same thing, F tier. Venomoth, F tier. The trio, it gets a niche of arena trap if you want to have like using like a Paris trap team. I can see it working because the only thing you can't trapping is like I think ghost types are immune to traps, period. But you also can't trap flying types, right? So it's just worse Gothitelle. But it does have a niche because it can trap things. I think this is F tier. It's not a Alolan the trio. Persian, fake out. That's really it. Not too much more that I can say about that. It's not good. This one's niche. It's dark type, so it can't be prankster taunted. It gets fake out, parting shot, foul play. It has a really cool ability where it's super bulky on the physical side. You can run it with a sash, so it survives on a special side. It's really cool. Berserker. Um, I like Berserker. It fits on those Go Dingo teams where you just put it next to a steel type and then you just sweep. So it does have that niche of doing that. Golduck is a wannabe sweeper. Annihilate, I think Annihilate is A tier. Um, I hit rank number one with Annihilate, so I'm gonna put it in S tier because, of course, the mouse hold the mouse hold. Oh, I got an emergency vehicle going by. The mouse hold functions really well with it, where you can go for the beat up into rage fist stuff, but also mouse hold can go for like the offensive population set, and then annihilate can be final gambit. In this format, when you just pretty much outspeed everything with a choice scarf, and your opponent, if they don't have ghost types, they literally have to choose something that's getting KO, right? Pretty much, unless they have like max HP, Amoonguss or Farigiraf. A lot of stuff doesn't have more HP than Annihilate, and they have to pick and choose what they want to take to get KO, right? And they just literally have to play the game without a mon. You force a lot of those lines with that type of Annihilate set, and with that, it's really, really threatening. I hit rank number one with that set, and I know how good it can be. Just pressuring your opponents, especially in best of one, where they don't know whether it's the final gambit set or a setup set, they can get punished by making the wrong play against either one, because each set you have to play it a little bit differently, right? You can't play the beat up Rage Fist set the same way that you'll play the final gambit choice scarf final gambit set. They play completely differently. So when you're trying to counter those, if you try to counter one too hard, you lose to the other, and that makes it like super threatening. So that's why I'm advocating for that in S tier. I think Arcanine, while it gets outclassed by Incineroar, I say that I'm gonna put it in the D tier. It's a wannabe. You're really just not gonna use Arcanine in a format that has Incineroar, and I think that Hisuian Arcanine has its own niche that it does things a little bit better. I'm gonna actually say it's a reliable mon, because while it is similar to Incineroar, it offers rock type coverage that Incineroar doesn't offer, and that offensive rock type is kind of hard to come by in a lot of different formats, and you pressure a lot of things in the format too, especially Sun teams. Sun teams really do not like to see a Hisuian Arcanine coming, and Sun teams are really good in this format with Torkoal, the Marco Silva Sun teams and stuff like that. So I think Hisuian Arcanine is pretty good. Poliwrath, I think it's D tier. Again, it's outclassed by like Basculesian. Politoed, we just saw this, win with Wolfie. It's a really good rank setter. I think Pelipper is a bit better, but Politoed's not D tier. Perish Song is something that it has its own niche that it does a little bit better. It really only fits on those Perish Trap team, Rain team, so I want to say it's probably C tier then. But its role is to be a Perish Trap setter, right? And I think that it does that well, a lot better than a lot of the other mons in the format, since there's no Screamtail, no Fluttermane. So it's one of the best Perish Trap setters, so I'll say it's B tier. Plus Wolfie, demonstrated how good it can still be. Victory Bell, I think it's better than Vileplume. I still think it's a D tier though, because it does have like fast poison and grass type coverage, but I think it's just a wannabe Venusaur. Venusaur is just much better. I think I'll put it in F tier. I still don't think it's good. Tentacruel, F tier. You're gonna want to use it on the rain team, but just use any of the other rain sweepers. Golem, F tier. This is kind of niche. It has the niche of being able to explode with an electro type explosion, and then you can do things like with Rapska and bring it back and then just explode again. So it has that one little niche that it can do. I've seen it. I've lost to it one time, not knowing what it does. So on best of one ladder, it can surprise your opponent. In with Choice Scarf Explosion or like Choice Band Explosion, Electric Terror, you can kind of clear the field if your opponent's not expecting it, and it doesn't matter if you take damage if they can't knock you out. Explosions damage doesn't get reduced based on your HP, so it can be really threatening if your opponent's not prepared for it, if they don't protect in front of it. But protecting in front of it just kind of neuters it, right? So that's also something. Slowbro, Iron Defense, Body Press, Trick Room. I think it's niche. It can fit on like teams that want a hard counter specific bonds. It does have a really good typing in Water and Psychic, making it hard to hit, but it's just that niche. I think this is just a wannabe Sneasler, Quick Claw plus its ability Quick Draw makes it so you can move first, but just use Sneasler and have Unburden, and then Sneasler just outspeeds everything, right? So it does have Psychic typing, I guess. Is it Psychic typing? I think it's Psychic typing. Yeah, it's Psychic and Poison, right? If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's Psychic and Poison. But like I said, just use Sneasler. It's a much better Poison type. But if you want to use it, it's not an F tier in my opinion. Slow King. Slow King, I think it's niche. It fits on snow teams because it gets the signature move. What is it? It's some type of song move that it gets. I can't remember what it is. Let's take a look real quick. It's a song move that it gets that sets the snow up. So you want to use it on a snow team. Let's see. And it forces it to switch out. So it's not Snowscape. Chili Reception, that's what it's called. It's like Teleport plus Snowscape at the same time, which is really cool. It's super niche. Like it only works on those teams if you really hard build around it. But I don't really expect a lot of people to try to make it work. But I say it's niche. It's probably niche. Same thing with they're in the same boat, just different typing. Magnezone, it can lock in steel types. It gets sturdy, so it can be pretty annoying to remove. I want to say it's D tier though. Um, there's not a lot of electric types in this format that do what this can do better. Just being an electric sturdy mon, but it's so slow, and there's other sturdy users in the format. Honestly, a sturdy steel type is completely outclassed by Archaludon, which is really good in this format. So even though you had electric typing, I think the dragon typing is a little more valuable in this format. So just use Archaludon because it's a sturdy steel type. Dodrio, F tier. Dugong, it does get Parasong, Fake Out. So I guess it's D tier, but just use Politoed. Muck, this Muck is D tier. Just use Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck is reliable. The reason it's reliable is because the Smurgle Muck strategy is a real thing, and if you're not really prepared for it, or if you don't hit your moves, you can kind of just auto lose to this sometimes. So there's something that you have to be prepared for because there's a lot of Smurgle Muck players in the format, and it can be pretty threatening on the right teams. And I've seen some people actually just have it as an option on their team and still build their team like a balanced team, and just have that option of going Smurgle, which can completely ruin a lot of teams. So I want to say it's B because it plays that role really well as being, stall. Even though it's not fun to play against, I respect it because I know what it can do. Cloyster, Cell Smash, Ice type, it's D tier. Gengar, it was really good at the beginning. It is a Perish Trap user, Perish Song user. Focus Sash, it's like soft Flutter Mane in this format because of the ghost being a fast ghost type with two coverages that can hit a lot of the format. It is really good in the Rillaboom. I say it's C tier. I don't know. It fits specifically on those teams with like Volcarona, Clefable, Rillaboom. Like the balance, I had built a team like a balance 6 that it fits really well on. So, but it also shares poison type with Sneasler, which you will probably want to use. But I think Gengar can fit on those specific teams. Hypno, F tier. Electrode, it's the fastest mon in the format, so that gives it something that it can do, but it's a wannabe because this Electrode is just so much better. I think that this is a C tier. I use it, and its role is that it can activate Archaludon with Bullet Seed, give Archaludon speed control with Electro Web. It has Rain Dance that it activates so Electro Shot works, and it also has like fast taunt. So I know that it's really good, so I actually want to put it in B tier because it plays the role of being like a Regieleki of the format, right? But also offers Rain Dance and Bullet Seed to help Archaludon get its defense up, which can completely win games, especially if your opponent has just physical attackers. They don't really have good special attackers. It kind of just can win games from there. Next we have Executor, Wolfie's favorite. I want to say it's niche. It's niche just because its rare trait is that it can function on Trick Room teams and Sun teams by playing like fast and also taking advantage of the sun, and also can take advantage of Trick Room by setting it up. And a lot of Trick Rooms like to have Indeedee on it, so it can use Expanding Force. So it has the niche of doing that. I think it's a little bit better than Venusaur, in my opinion, because of the Expanding Force can be pretty threatening. A Alolan Executor, I think it's also niche. It fits on hard Trick Room teams. Grass Dragon is unique typing. It can wall a lot of different mons, especially in games that we don't have good coverage into it. It's really good. It has a lot of damage output with Draco Meteor, and it's super slow. So it works on the hard Trick Room teams. Hitmonlee, it's D tier. Just use Sneasler as a Burden fighting type. It's just completely outclassed by Sneasler. Hitmonchan, fake out fighting type. Just use Hariyama. Hitmontop, Intimidate. I think it's niche. Fake out, Intimidate, Wide Guard. It has its own niche that it can play. It can be pretty annoying if you don't have good counters into it. If you don't have Wide Guard counterplay, it can, and also gets faint, so it can do a lot of different things. Wheezing, Weezing's okay, but I think it's D tier because this Weezing is just better with the fairy typing. Zacian is not around. Only thing you really have to worry about is like Godango. So other than that, the typing is just completely better. I think it's B tier because it deactivates abilities, which plays this role of doing that. It's really the only thing that can do that role outside of just outclassing this Weezing that does it too. Rhyperior, Lightning Rod. There's not a lot of lightning rod. There's not a lot of need for lightning rod, so I think it's D tier. Raichu kind of plays better than in this format. Chansey, it's F. Like it's not doing anything. Blissey, F, not doing anything. Kingdra, Wolfie won a tournament with it, right? So I'll say it's niche. If it's on that one Wolfie team, other than that, you're not really gonna see it. But we won't put it any lower than that. Scyther, D tier. Scizor, I want to say it's D tier, C tier. What does it really do? Swords Dance, Bullet Punch. You just much rather use Godango as a steel type, right? Cleavor, Cleavor set up stealth rock, so it has its own niche. That it can pressure like focus sashes and stuff like that. It is really annoying for those mons. If you have a really good focus sash mon on your team, then Cleavor is you really don't want to see Cleavor in team preview. So I'll put it in C tier. Electabuzz, I want to say A tier. This mon is good on every team. It's a very good redirector. It has Vital Spirit, so it has counterplay into Amoonguss. Also, that you slap it on your team, it's gonna be a good redirector. It has Electro Web, has Taunt, super bulky. It's just really good. Electivire, F tier. You're not gonna use this mon at all. Magmar, right there with Electabuzz. Slightly different typing. They're both weak to ground, but this gets Will-O-Wisp, which is something that Electabuzz doesn't get. So I kind of like Magmar a little bit better because of the Will-O-Wisp pressure in this format can really cripple things like Garchomp, things like Dragonite. You can go Terra Fairy to get around a Scale Shot, which is really solid. Magmortar, I think it's better than Electivire. It's a bulky fire type, but it's just outclassed by a lot of the other fire types. Tauros, Intimidate, normal type, F tier. Paldean and Tauros is just better, but these both get outclassed by these two. These get outclassed by Incineroar, and I guess there's no Urshifu, right? But I feel like there's just a lot of other. It's no real other water. I guess Gyarados is better. Is Gyarados better than Paldean and Tauros? I'll put this one. I'll put them both in C tier. They're niche. I think Gyarados is also niche. I don't think they're D tier because they fighting plus intimidate is really valuable for a lot of different teams. I can't think if there's another water type intimidator other than Gyarados, and there's no Urshifu in the format, right? I think Quackleval is the only other water fighting type that may be a little bit relevant, and it's a little bit better than that, right? So Lapras gets Parasong, so I'm gonna put it in C tier because I know what it can do. It's a bulky Parasong user. It can probably beat you if you allow your monster to go down too early if it's built properly. Ditto, C tier. There's no restricteds, so it does fit on teams that know how to utilize Ditto. If you want to copy something that's known for boosting, copying a Sneasler too is really good because Sneasler is like one of the best Pokemon in the format. But other than that, it's no restricted, so I can't put it higher than C. Vaporeon, uh, D tier. Jolteon, D tier. I think the evolutions are all pretty much D tier. Guts, I don't think they're F, but I think they're all D tier. Uh, Espeon, it's okay. Uh, it fits on side spam teams. It's the fastest side spam user with the highest special attack, so I'll say it does have a niche. Umbreon, also really good. It's really good against hard trick room teams. Taunt, foul play, snarl. It's just really being annoying. This is gonna be D tier. D tier. Sylveon is a really good special attacking fairy. I think it's B tier. Porygon 2, A tier. This fits on every team. Super bulky in a format when the power level is lower. Very hard to deal with. Porygon Z, niche. Um, Fits on like really hyper offensive teams. Snorlax is D tier. It's outclassed. Um, Dragonite is going to be S tier. Gotta put it in S tier. Scale Shot, Multi Scale, Tailwind, Encore, Extreme Speed, Terra Fairy, Terra Normal, Terra Steel. It just has a lot of different things that it can do. It's S tier. We pretty much know what it does from the last Regulation H. We know it's really good. Meganium, D tier, unfortunately. Typhlosion, Eruption. It's D tier though because it's super outclassed by Hisuian Typhlosion, which is A tier for me. This mon, being Ghost, so you automatically immune to Fake Out. You pressure your opponent having the respect if you're going to tear fire. They rather not Fake Out into you. It's really good with Whimsicott, really good on Sun teams. It can single-handedly win you games if it gets too many eruptions off because it's too much damage output, right? And it's crazy how much better it is than the Typhlosion down there just by being the Ghost typing, which is really good on a mon that has a Choice Scarf item or Choice Specs because they can't Fake Out into it, so it gets around that counterplay. For Alligator, with Dragon Dance, that's it. Water type is D tier. Ferret, Frengar plus Follow Me, it has a niche, right? It's a support mon, right? And redirection, Follow Me is such a powerful move that I can't really put it in D tier because it has that niche if you want to use Follow Me plus Frengar. It is outclassed by this, right? But I think it has some other things that it can do other than Clefairy. Noctowl, D tier, Tailwind, slow, bulky, that's it. Ariados, D tier. Lantern, also D tier, gets Volt Absorb. Ampharos, D tier, he's not really doing anything. Belly Drum, it's niche. Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, and Rain is pretty threatening though. You get it set up, it's gonna like pressure your opponent, make them sweat a little bit. Pseudo Wudo, D tier. Jump Luff, I think it's B tier. It plays its role well as being it's very annoying on Sun teams, right? It functions very well with Alolan Ninetales, not Alolan Ninetales, regular Ninetales and Torkoal as being a disruptor. Sleep Powder, Encore with a Covert Cloak. It's just super annoying, super fast. It's fast outside of the sun, so you can also use it on like on your Sun team to just have sunny days, set up Sun against rain teams because it's still super fast. It's really good. A lot of people run it without even having an attacking move, and it's still pretty good, right? So we'll put it in B tier. I think it's good. Ambipom, F tier. Sunflora, Solar Power. I've seen this thing do a lot of damage under Trick Room with Solar Power in the sun. I say it's D tier because there's just you much rather just use Torkoal in the sun, right? But I don't think it's F tier because I've seen it one shot some things randomly. Yan Mega, I think it's niche. I think it's underplayed though. I think it can be, especially with gravity sets. It does function on those gravity teams, and also just with speed boost, it can be really threatening with Tailwind. It was to give a couple of speed boost up, right? Quagsire, unaware. The Dozo doesn't want to see this, right? But you can just run Dondozo without Tatsugiri, right? So I think it's a D tier. I think it's a low D tier. Cloudsire, I think it's niche. It's unaware, but it's a poison type and ground type, which there's nothing else that kind of plays like it. So I think it has its own niche. Murkrow, B tier, reliable. Haze, really good counterplay into Dondozo. Dondozo has no counterplay into Murkrow and Haze outside of just removing the Murkrow before your Dondozo comes out. Also threatens with Tailwind, pranks with Tailwind, Quash. Also pairs really well with Godingo. We're going for Tailwind, make it rain with Choice Specs, and then hazing away the special attack drop, which is solid. Honchkrow completely outclassed by Murkrow. I think it's honestly F tier. It's not really doing anything. It does have a high attack stat, but that's about it. Miss Magnius, just use Gengar. That's a better ghost type. Farigiraf's A tier for me. Priority blocking, can't beat that. Trick Room, very hard to remove. It's just a really good mon, a well-designed mon. Its ability is so cool. Its typing is really good. It's immune to ghost types, so it kind of annoys Annihilate a little bit because you can't Rage Fist it. If it's very bulky with a Rocky Helmet, you pressure it. Those Drain Punches going into it. Annihilate can't remove Farigiraf easily, so it does offer a lot of counterplay into that. Counterplay into Side Spam teams, counterplay into hard Trick Room teams. It's just a really solid mon. It's almost close to S, but since it doesn't have a lot of damage output, while it can do damage with like Nasty Plot or Throat Spray, it's just not the thing that you're going to be thinking about sweeping teams. But it does. I think it's a very good A tier mon. I think it's the best Trick Room setter in my opinion. Fortress, Rapid Span. That's it. F tier. Dunsparce, F tier. What do we want to do with this? Now, I've seen some people use this with Toxic Orb, and it's like immune to Amoonguss with Swords Dance, but I still think it's niche. Ground Flying is really cool typing. Landers doesn't exist in this format, so it does have unique typing. I'll say it's niche. I'll put it in niche. Gliscor, it can do some things, right? Being immune to Amoonguss just gives you that niche right there, and being able to just ignore Amoonguss Swords Dance in front of it, and you know, being immune to Electric is not that valuable in this format. But the flying ground typing and only being weak to water and ice is just, it's unique typing, right? There's no Landers in this format, so I think it's niche. Don't quote me on that. It may be a D tier mon, but we'll put it there. Granbull, Intimidate, Fairy typing is F tier though. Quillfish, I want to say it's D tier. It's outclassed by Overquill. This gets Intimidate. It also, I think this is, you can use it as Intimidate mon. You can also use it on Rain Team as a Swift Swim user. So I'll say it's B tier because it plays its role of being a Swift Swim sweeper as well as being a bulky deterrent with Intimidate to reduce the physical attack damage output of a lot of different mons. It's a really good mon though. It's a well-designed mon. I think it's B tier. Heracross, Guts, just use Ursaluna. It's F tier. Weavile, I think it's niche. It's not bad, but it's super fast, has Fake Out, has Faint. It could be annoying for your opponent. It has a high attack stat. Sneasler, it's the best mon in Regulation H. We know it is. We're going to put it in S tier. There's not much to talk about it. You just say Dire Claw, and anybody that has played in Regulation H, you say Dire Claw, they know exactly what you're talking about. Ursaluna, also S tier. This thing feels like a restricted, right? In this format, it's one of the highest damage output in mons in this format. That doesn't, it does need to turn its setup, but it's not like it doesn't need a boosting a status move, right? It's just you protect, and its ability allows it to just have like tremendous damage output. It one shots pretty much everything that it can hit, unless they're just immune to it or they resist it. If you don't resist it, Facade, it's usually just one shot everything. Headlong Rush, one shot and everything. It's a really good mon. It's super hard to deal with. Both Ursalunas I think are S tier. They just offer so much damage output. I think that this in restricted formats, I think they're about the same, but I think that because this Facade, it's just so much damaging. But you're gonna probably be running like Normaterra Blood Moon on this with Life Orb. They just do so much freaking damage, man. They're immune to ghost types. They have really unique typing with ground and normal, so they're both really good. I think Dragonite might be a little bit better than these two. So, but you know, these are kind of the mons that offer the most damage output in the format, and they're really solid. I think they're both S tier. Cargo, Shell Smash, F tier. Mamoswine, it's niche. I think it's good. I think it's okay. I used it. I like to play with it. It's immune to intimidate. Ground and ice is such good coverage in this format that it pretty much hits everything. Like if you think of these, like except Alolan Ninetales and Annihilate, like already the top four mons in the format, it hits them for super effective damage. Ice on these, ground coverage on these. It hits these for ground coverage. Ice is just really good into a lot of the format. Ground is really good into a lot of the format. It pressures a lot. I actually think do I want to put it in B tier? Is that a little bit too generous? It's a good mon, man, and I like to give respect where respect is due, right? Um, it pressures Incineroar too, right? So I think I want to put it in B tier. Skarmory, sturdy, setup. Uh, I grab this. This is F tier. Skarmory, Bokies. I think it's D tier. Houndoom, F tier. Flash Fire. I guess it can annoy some teams like Charizard and Typhlosion don't like to see Houndoom. So I'll probably say it's D tier. I don't think it's F then. Donphan, F tier. Weirdeer. Skill Swap Intimidate has a niche. Trick Room, so I think it has its own niche. Smurgles is gonna be A tier for me. It's a really good mon. It can do so many different things in this format. Pretty much run every move, but we know Decorate, Spore, White Guard, Follow Me, Fake Out. It's a really good mon. You have to make sure that you put it on your team. It's not gonna hurt your team. It's always gonna help, and your opponents really have to have counterplay for it. T-Tar, I say reliable. It's the best sand setter, of course. Super bulky. Threatens. It's really annoying for Sun teams, which are really good in this format. So that alone gives it reliable. I think it is a little bit better than Overquill, though. Of course, I will put it here. All right, so we're getting through this list. We're gonna speed up a little bit. Sceptile, Burden. It's D tier. Blaziken, C tier. It does get speed boosts, coaching and stuff, so it can be unique. It's okay. Swampert, it needs Intimidate, right? I always say that Swampert should have been given a hit ability change, kind of like Empoleon. Damp is just not doing anything for it, right? So I feel like if it had Intimidate, this mon would just immediately jump up. Being ground and water is really good typing, and being super bulky, it can play like an Incineroar because that's flip turn. Intimidate would really help it, right? I think it needs that. Mightyena, Dark Intimidator, just using Incineroar though, just completely outclassed by it. But it is an Intimidator, so you can use it. Ludicolo, C tier, fits on rain teams. Shiftry also C tier, fits on sun teams. You can run Chlorophyll, or you can run what's the ability that it gets that it's immune to like wind moves? It's the same thing that that one. Yeah, Wind Rider. Wind Rider is a cool ability. You get a +1 when Tailwind's up, or you take damage from a wind move. So it's okay. It's okay. Um, I don't want to. I'm trying to think. So is Shiftry, is it that good? I think the Wind Rider is a unique ability. I think I'm gonna leave it in C. I think I'm gonna leave it in C. I can't put it no higher than that. I was thinking on it because I played against a player that had it on his team, and the way that they used it with the Wind Rider, it was really good. Honestly, it was very powerful. Darkened Grass is really fun typing, but I only saw it the one time, right? So I think it's still C tier. Pelipper, I think it's an A tier mon in this format. Pelipper is really good, right? It does everything that you need it to, being a range setter, a wide guard, focus sash set. It has very consistent damage output. You have to respect it. Gardevoir, I think it's C tier. It fits on that one team that I made with the Mammoth Swine and stuff, right? So Gallade, Gallade is gonna be B tier for me. It's a high damage output. It functions on hard Trick Room teams. Wide guard. It plays the role of being a Trick Room setter on hard Trick Room teams and also a sweeper, as well as taking advantage of psychic terrain, taking advantage of steel types, taking advantage of things that have our choice locked into spread moves. It does its role really well. Uh, I forget the name of this mon. It has Intimidate, Water Bug, so it's also D tier. Breloom, Fast Spore, I think it's C tier. All right, so we're still in Gen 3, so we're getting we're speeding up though. Got a couple more gens to go through. Slay King, Hariyama, I think it's good in this format. I think it plays its role well. It's fake out on a Trick Room team. Slay King, you're gonna see it with Weezing. It functions well. It's okay. It's niche because it can one shot some things, right? Normal Terror, Giga Impact can like ruin you. Probopass, F tier, just use Archaludon. Sableye, super annoying. A really good prankster user, so we'll put it here. Don't really want to say too much more than that. Metachan, fake out, power swap stuff. It's niche. F tier. F tier. The Volbeat and Illumise. I think they're better than a lot of people think with Perks or Tailwind. I'm gonna say they're reliable because they get fake tiers, they get an encore, they get a lot of utility moves, they get Sunny Day, they get Rain Dance. I think they're good. I think they're outclassed by Whimsicott, but if you want a different prankster setter that's not Whimsicott, then you can try these. I think they're. I don't think they're wannabes because they can hold their own. Swalot, F tier. Camera, F tier. Torkoal, A tier, right there with Pelipper. It's really good Sunsetter. Also can sweep. If you get under Trick Room and you don't have switch-ins to Torkoal, you don't have rain control, or you don't have Wide Guard, like Torkoal runs through teams when Trick Room's up, right? So I think it's A tier. Grumpig, F. Flygon. This hurts to do Flygon like this, but put it back here. Flygon is, it's a wannabe Garchomp. I don't want to put in F tier because Grounded Dragon, Levitate, it can do something, but you're much better off using Garchomp, unfortunately. Or even Salamence too. So Paris Song, it gets a niche, so I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it in C tier. This thing is F tier. Zangoose, Poison Boost, it's F tier. If you want to use a normal type that gets a damage output, I'll put it in D tier because it's a wannabe. It's not an F tier mon because it can deal a lot of damage, but just use Ursaluna, and completely outclasses it. It's a Viper. Final Gambit. Final Gambit Scarf is threatening, right? So use Annihilate, so it's outclassed by Annihilate, but it can one-shot some things, right? So I don't want to underestimate that. Witchcast, F tier. Crawdont, high damage output, but it's outclassed by a lot. Melodic, or Milotic, how you want to pronounce it. I think it's a B tier mon. It does punish Incineroar. It can be really annoying with Coil Hypnosis. It plays that role well. It's a good mon. Bennett, F tier. Dusclops, really solid Trick Room setter. I think it's a C tier in this format though, because it's you'd much rather use Fergraph or Porygon, but it can fit on Trick Room teams that want to like activate a weakness policy on like Ursaluna, so it has that niche. Dusknoir, is F tier. Tropius, Tailwind. Grass Flying is really bad on a slow mon, so F tier. Chimeco, uh, D tier. It gets Trick Room. Glalie, it gets Moody. Just use Smirgle. Frostlass, uh, similar to like Gengar. This plays like a Flutter Mane, but with ice typing. It does get Destiny Bond. I think it gets Parasong. I'm not sure, but I think it's C tier. Love this F tier. Let's not think too much of that. Salamence, Dragonfly, Intimidate. I think it's a B tier mon. I think it's good. Metagross, Clear Body. I think it's niche in this format. It's okay. It's not bad though. Torterra, D tier. Infernape, my favorite mon all time. You know, this is my tier list, right? And Infernape has the toolkit. It has Fake Tears, Fake Out, Feint, Mac Punch, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Encore. It can run Focus Sash. It can run Choice Scarf. I hit rank #1 in the world with it. It's a good mon. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It plays its role well as being a fast support mon. It knows what it's doing, and it's my favorite mon. So we're gonna be a little bit biased. You may think it's a C tier mon, but I personally believe it's a B tier mon. I love Infernape. Empoleon, competitive, Punish, Incineroar. I think it's B tier mon. It's a good water steel typing is really good. So it does what it was supposed to do. Final Gambit, Flying Tailwind. I think it's niche. I think it's good though. It's okay. Cricketune, F tier. Intimidate, bulky, D tier. Rampardos, sturdy, slow. I think it gets sturdy. Or is it Rockhead? It has the highest physical attack stat in the game, so I can't put it in F tier, right? Because it can one shot some things, but it's not good. So we'll put it in D. This was the one that gets sturdy, I think. Sturdy iron defense. It doesn't mix well. I've seen some people say that it's okay because it gets wide guard. I believe stuff. I think it's D tier. Vespa Queen, F tier. Pachirisu, we're gonna put some respect on Pachirisu. Say C tier. Abomasnow. It's one of two. Oops. It's one of two snow setters. I think it's niche. Floatzel, F tier. Volcarona, A tier. It's a super powerful mon. It's borderline S tier. What you guys think? Is it an S tier mon? Does it go up there? It's like this Quiver Dance in this format. Like Volcarona is S tier, right? Yeah, we're gonna put it in S tier. Oops, I didn't mean to put Porygon up there, but we're gonna put it in S tier because I think it's better than Alolan Ninetales. Once Volcarona gets going, this mon is really hard to deal with. Especially against special attackers. It could completely wall them, and terrestrialization just makes it that much better. I do think Volcarona is an S tier mon. Gastrodon, both forms. They're niche. They fit on teams that, if you really want to stop, a rain team, then you can use Gastrodon. It can help in that way. Where did it go? Where did the pink Gastrodon go? I think I dropped it somewhere on accident. Right here. All right. Yeah, I think I accidentally put that. Okay, so we just need to fix that. Drifblim. What you guys think about Drifblim? I think it's niche. Skunk Tank, F tier. Bronzong. I think Bronzong is niche. Hard Trick Room. Spirit Tomb. Now people are saying this is the Sneasler counter with Covert Cloak. and then it can burn it. So I think it has a niche. Garchomp, well known, uh, well known B tier. Plays his role as being a physical sweeper. I don't think it's A tier though. I think there is a lot of counterplay in the Garchomp. Alolan Ninetales being the S tier is bad for it. Dragonite being the better dragon type is bad for it. It's not the best ground type in the format. That's the Ursalunas. So I think it's B tier, but it's still a good mod. I think it's B tier. Lucario, another Final Gambit user. I'm gonna say there's niche. You have to respect Final Gambit. And Choice Band, Normal Terror, E Speed. This is a Sand Setter, so this has its niche on the Sand team. Toxicroak has its niche on Rain teams, offering them Poison type coverage. It could be really good. All right, Rotom. This one's F tier. C tier. I can't put these Rotoms any lower than C tier. They have a lot of things that they do well, so I want to give respect. I think this one might be D though. Yeah, this might be D. Superior. C tier. Superior, it has the one niche that it can get boosts from Terra Blast, Stellar Terra Blast, and boost your special attack, which is cool. Embor is F tier, it's not doing anything. Samurai F tier. Hisuian Samurai C tier. Step Striker F tier. Just use Electro. Escadrille. I think it's B tier. I think it plays its role well on what it's supposed to be doing. All right, so we are about halfway through. Halfway through. Do I want to make this a two-part video, or do we want to do it all in one? Yeah. Let's see. I'll keep going for right now. What do I want to rate this thing? Because Wolfie loves this mod. I want to put some respect on his name. But I feel like it's just outclassed by Ursaluna too. But it is powerful, a powerful fighting type, right? We'll put it in D tier. Leavenly. I actually saw somebody use this. It's okay. I think it's okay because it gets chlorophyll and it's bug and grass. We see chlorophyll grass types, but not with the bug typing. Still can't hit fire types, right? But it is really cool that it can hit psychic and dark types with the bug coverage, and also it can hit other grass types. But I guess Venusaur can hit grass types with poison, so I think it's C tier though. Whimsicott. Alright. Oops. Let's get way up here. Put it right back here. Alright, so Whimsicott. It's Gen 5. Alright, so we'll stop at Gen 5 and then we'll cut the video and then we'll do the rest after we finish Gen 5. Alright, so Whimsicott, let's see. I think Whimsicott's A tier. It's the best Tailwind setter. Encore, Fake Tears, Endeavor. It still has damage output. Fairy coverage is very reliable in the format. Being immune to the dragons, being able to threaten them. Whimsicott doesn't just sit on the field and do nothing. It's always doing something. And I think that's really good. I think it's one of the best A tier mods. It's a really good support mod. Lilligant. This Lilligant, I think it's going to be D tier for me. Yeah, I think it's D tier. It's C tier. It fits on the Sun teams, but this Lilligant is so freaking good in this format. The adding the fighting coverage turns out that's all you need to do to be a really good mon in this format. I think it's a B tier mon. I think it's right there with Charizard. Like it's really good on Sun teams. Sleep powder, entrainment, coaching, close combat, leaf blade, solar blade, encore. It's just it has so many tools. It's so good on Sun teams. So I do want to give a lot of respect to it. Basculin, these aren't good. This Basculesian is D tier. This Basculesian is the one that you're gonna see on probably when you see a rain team, you think Archaludon, you think Pelipper, you think Basculesian, right? Those are like the big three rain teams. I think it's an A tier mon. I think it's really good. It's like similar to Typhlosion, where it's immune to fake out and it functions really good on its respective weather team, right? So they're like right there neck and neck. I would argue that Basculesian a little bit better because it can beat Typhlosion. Typhlosion can't really touch it. Well, I guess you can Shadow Ball it, but it's gonna outspeed you and then it's hit you also. Well, if the sun is up, you're gonna outspeed it. So it really depends on who's opposing weather is up, right? Because they both ghost typing. I think they're neck and neck, but I give the edge to the water type over the fire type then, right? This gets Intimidate, so it's okay. I think I'll put it right there. Also Intimidate, Fake Out, but Fake Out is better. So I'll say scrap these C tier. Zoroark is D tier. It's completely outclassed by Hisuian Zoroark. I made a cool team at the beginning of Regulation H with Hisuian Zoroark. Hisuian Zoroark is so good. It has a lot of damage output. It forces your opponent to think. I think just being a disruptor and offensive sweeper, it plays its role well. I think it's a B tier mon. Chinchino, I guess it has a decent damage output. I think it's niche. It's going to be a loaded dice set. It can fit on certain teams if you really want it to. Got the tail. Super slept on mine. Shadow Tag is really good. It plays its role really well as being, I don't want to put it any higher than B. As being a Perish Trap user, it does that better than anything else, right? It's really close to the only thing besides like Duck Trio, right? So, Ranunculus, Trick Room, Special Sweepers, D tier. This thing, I think it's F tier. It can't really do anything. It gets Tailwind, right? But it's bulky, slow Tailwind. It's not even really that bulky. It's worse Pelipper, right? Just use Pelipper. It doesn't really do anything. Among Us is always going to be S tier. It's one of the best disruptive mons. You have to respect it. Is Whimsicott S tier then? I think Whimsicott is so good that I think if Among Us is S tier, so is Whimsicott, because they single-handedly can change the dynamic of the fortunes of teams, and they immediately can win you a lot of games if you don't have like good counterplay into them. Like you need to counterplay Whimsicott with like Psychic Terrain or Opposing Tailwind or Trick Room, and you need like Safety Goggles, Grass Terrors, or like overcoats immunities into like Spore to just not get run over by a Mungus Spore in your whole team. So I think they're both S tier. I think they're right there neck and neck with each other. This is F tier. Love this should evolve into that, but it doesn't. This is a fast electric type. It hits really hard. It has tinted lens, so Tarantula, it can be good. I think it's D tier though. Electros, Levitate, no weaknesses, D tier. Chandelier, ghost type, it's outclassed by Hisuian and Typhlosion, but it can fit on like hard Trick Room teams. It does get Trick Room. I seen it be good. I think it's a C tier mon. Haxorus, it's a F tier. It's not doing anything. It does hit hard, but there's so many other hard hitting dragon types that just do its job better. Now this thing, now I featured a team with this, a Japanese sand team with Kragonal, and it gets Levitate plus Haze, and you run it with a Safety Goggles. It can function on the sand team, and it kind of annoys Dondozo. So it's the only Levitate user with Haze. So I'll put it in C tier because it does have a niche. Freeze Dry is really good. Icy Wind is really fast. It's a decent mon. Mian Chao, Faint, Wide Guard, Close Combat, Knockoff. Mian Chao is a B tier mon. I think it's good. Let's see. This thing's F tier. It's not good. King Gambit. I think it's an A tier mon. I think it's slightly below King Gambit. I mean, slightly below Annihilate, and it's because King Gambit. While King Gambit is really good, it has the 4x weakness where it's kind of forced to tear a lot. I think that holds it back from being an S tier mon, but it's super bulky. It punishes Incineroar, and it's a really good mon. It's my second favorite mon of all time behind Infernape. Also hit rank number 1 with King Gambit, so I'm very happy about that. It's a really good mon. Braviary, Defiant. You much rather just use King Gambit, but it does have its niche. I don't want to say Braviary is completely bad, but it has its niche. Now, Hisuian Braviary plays its role well as being a side spam sweeper. It plays in a way like Terapagos, where where did it go? I wonder why this tier list keeps freezing up. Yeah, it dropped down here. All right, so we're gonna put it in B. So what it does is you can go expanding force with it, and expanding force being single target while you have terrain up, and you won't get the boost right. But if you're trying to play around wide guard, you can just go for Esper Wing, get a speed boost, which is the signature move, and then the following turn you can tear into Psychic and then go expanding force and be touching the ground, and then expanding force is a double targeting move and just does so much more damage. So it's really cool. I had a lot of fun with it when I played with it early on, and I think it's a really cool mon. It has overcoat, right? So it can ignore Amoonguss. I guess I'll say it's niche. It gets Tailwind, Foul Play, Snarl. It's okay. Hydreigon. Hydreigon's gonna be the last one we do for this tier list. We're gonna cut this into a 2-part tier list. I made this edit into the same video, but we're gonna do it in 2 parts because it has been probably about 30-40 minutes now. So I want to break it up. But Hydreigon, of course, with terrestrialization makes it really good. It's a very powerful special sweeper. I've seen Heatwave, Choice Specs, Fire Terror, and the Sun just annihilate some teams, but just use Charizard if you're going to do that. But it still plays really good. Dragon and Dark typing is very unique typing. It offers a lot of different... It is 4x weak to Fairy, but Fairies are not that common in this format. And it offers just a lot of utility. Like, it makes the format feel fair, because it's something that, in any other format, restricted format, you never see it. But in these formats, it can win you games just by being a very powerful special attacker. But all right, we're gonna pause here, and then we'll come back and we'll do the Gen 6 and up from there. Yo, holy smokes, we are back with another one. So we are going to be picking up off on the previous Regulation H tier list that we started. This is going to be part 2. I broke it up into 2 parts because Regulation H has a lot of mons that you're able to use, and pretty much all of them can really have some type of use when you have, the restricted banned and the all the legendaries banned, right? So this is going to be the format that's going to be taking place for the in-person tournaments, like the regionals and internationals. So just stay tuned for that. That's kind of what this regulation is for. Regulation J is the actual ladder that's going to be taking place on the in-game ladder. So we are going to do a separate tier list for that one after we finish this one. So finishing up on this one, I did have some time to sleep on some of my picks. And when I pick S tier, I do mean that these are mons that you really need to have answers for in your team. If you don't, you kind of just lose the game, right? So with that being said, I think Ninetales, while it is an excellent mon, I think that you don't have to have an answer to it in order to win at a high level. So I do want to move it down to A tier. I think that's appropriate. I think Annihilate, Annihilate stuff, you need to have counters for. Whimsicott, you literally can just get ran over by Tailwind if you don't respect it. Same with Amoonguss, sleeps your whole team. Volcarona is one of the best setup mons in the format. Once he gets a couple Quiver Dances up, if you don't have good counterplay into it, you can just lose. And we already know what Dragonite, Ursaluna, and the Sneasler does, right? They're literally on the cover the face of Regulation H, right? And Sneasel is the best mon in Regulation H. So I think this is good S tier. But we're gonna continue on from Gen 8. I mean, from Gen 6, sorry, and finish out with Gen 6, 7, Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8, and Gen 9. So we did the first 5, so now we got a couple of more to go. So we're gonna start with Chestnut. Chestnut was really good in Regulation I when you use it as like a baby Zamazenta. I think it can still play somewhat that type of role here. With how no with the White Guard, I guess White Guard is not as valuable in this format. So I do want to kind of put it down a little bit. It does still have iron defense and body press. I think it's one of the best users of that, and bulletproof is a really good ability. So I think I'm gonna put Chestnut in C tier. Delphox, it is the fastest expanding force user. I believe it's faster than Espeon, right? If it's not Espeon, it's the fastest. No, Espeon hits the hardest, but Delphox is the fastest, right? So I say it's C tier 2. If it's on those side spam teams, in case you want to build around it, it's right there. I feel like on Blaziken level. It's a mon that's pretty good. Greninja, it offers a lot of utility. I also think that it's probably going to be a C tier. It's kind of niche though, but it can, have water shuriken. It gets haze, so it can be like a Dondozo counter, right? It can be really annoying to that. It can also activate like Annihilate with water shuriken if you have like Water Terror on Annihilate. So it is really cool, and it does apply a lot of pressure, but it is, in my opinion, is niche. So we'll probably put it in C tier. Talonflame, I think Talonflame is gonna be B tier. It does its role well as being like a fast tailwind setter that's not like Murkrow. I say it's right there with Murkrow. I think Murkrow may be a little better because Talonflame does have some counterplay to it, where if the Gale Wings gets broken, then it's significantly worse, right? So I'll put it right there with Murkrow. Vivian, Friend Guard. Friend Guard is good. Rage Powder, Sleep Powder. I think it's a good mon. I think it's B tier. It supports whatever mon you want to set up with, and I think it does that pretty well. So we'll put it in. We'll put it in B tier. Pyroar. It's not really doing anything. I'm a Leo, and I hate to do this, but it is immune to Astral Barrage, but Calyrex Shadow is not in this format. So that's the only like real niche I can see it for. But that would be in like Regulation G or Regulation I, right? And here it just does nothing. So we'll put it. We'll put Pyro there. It sucks to put a lion there, but it is what it is. All right. So this mon is it does do some interesting things with symbiosis, where it can give an item and activate a weakness policy and stuff like that. So I think it is cool because you can use like a choice scarf and give the item once the weakness policy. If you can make this move first and activate a weakness policy, it can give the choice scarf or choice specs to the mon or whatever you choose to give it to, and then it can just, it's kind of a cool strategy. I think it's niche. Itself, it can set up Calm Mind plus like Moonblast stuff. It's okay. I think it has like grass pelt ability. You probably want to use this. I think it's just like worse Rillaboom. I think it gets Grassy Glide too, but it needs the grassy terrain in order to thrive. So I think it's D tier. Meowstick. I think they're niche too. They're like Sableye level, right? They get Prankster. They can do like a lot of niche stuff. I think they're right there, Sableye level. Malamar. Uh, it's niche. It has topsy turvy stuff, so it's the only mon that can really do that strategy. But I say it's a niche strategy, so we'll put it in C tier. Dragalge, it's F tier. Cloudster, F tier. Halucha, very fast fighting, flying coverage. I think it's niche as well. I think it can be okay though, but I still think it's a niche strategy. You need terrain. This is F tier. It's not doing anything. Sturdy, Trick Room. I guess it has a niche. Goodra. This Goodra is the D tier. Now this Goodra is pretty good, but you probably don't see it that much. But I still think it's like the best body iron defense body press person because it can't be crit, right? So once you get it set up, it's super hard to remove, especially behind screens. So I'll say it's B tier. It's a good role mod. Klefki, I think it's a little bit better than Sableye. Still, I think I probably say B tier. I think it's a pretty decent prankster screens alternative to Grimmsnarl, so I'll put it in B. Trevenant, Trick Room, you can't fake it out, so I say it's niche. It's gonna go on those hard Trick Room teams. Avalok, and this is D tier. And this Avalok, this one's interesting. This one, I say it's C tier. The reason I'm gonna say it's C tier is niche because the niche is that it can play with sand or snow, and it can take advantage of both of those boosts, right? And you can kind of play around it. You really have to build a snow and sand team around it, but it does have the option to be able to play under both, and it's a really good trick room setter. It does get sturdy, but it just can't take any special attacks, right? But because you have sturdy, it's like a built-in focus sash, so it's okay. I played with it before and it was kind of fun. The Wyvern, D tier, Dragon Flying, just use Salamence, right? Even though it's faster than Salamence, Salamence also has Intimidate. Sidgewai, it's a starter. But I honestly think that it's one of the worst starters. So put it here. This is the Sidgewai. I think it's reliable. It can KO Gordingo in one hit, right? So I think that gives it a role because Gordingo is super common, right? Cineroar, there's not much to talk about. It's one of the best Pokemon ever created. Primarina was one of the best fairies in the format, so I'm gonna give it its. Well, I guess Ninetales is a better fairy right now, right? We'll put it in A tier. I mean B tier. I think B tier is appropriate for Primarina. Toucannon. It's just F. I don't know what it's doing. Gumshoe, F tier. I want to say this is C tier. It fits on, it's niche. It fits on hard trick room teams, right? All right, so we're getting close to the end here. Grabominal. It's just a wannabe trick room sweeper, but there's so many better trick room sweepers, so I can't see you really using that. I think all of these will go in C tier because they do have some strategies that you can use. The Revelation Dance that you can do with like its ability Dancer with Quiver Dance, Volcarona, Dragon Dance and stuff. So I think they have those niche. I don't think they're that good, but they do have a pretty cool niche. I actually lost to one before, so we'll put it there. Now this mon is extremely good with Gordingo. I want to say it's B tier. Because its ability makes it so it can't be faked out, right? It's immune to like secondary effects. So I think it's B tier. It works really well with Gordingo. I guess it's a niche, but no, it has like fake tiers. You could put it with a lot of special attackers. It gets Tailwind. With a Focus Sash is really solid. Moonblast has a decent special attack, so it's good. Lycanroc, its role is being one of the best Sandmons. Endeavor, Rock Slide, Close Combat, Bulldoze. It's a really good. It's a B tier mon. This Lycanroc, it has no guard. Right, but I still think it's D tier. This one's probably gonna be F tier. It's not doing anything. Toxapex, stall teams. I guess it gives it a niche. We'll put it in C tier for now. Stamina stuff. It's not that good. It's D tier. Araquanid. I want to say this mon is B tier. This mon is actually really good, especially on the Trick Room. I think it's underused, and it's a really good mon. This thing gets Contrary. I don't think it's that good, though. Salazzle, Fast Fake Out, Encore. I think this is a C tier mon. Serena. Now, Serena has a unique ability, just like Farigiraf. I think it's really good. I think it's B tier, though. I can't put it in A tier Farigiraf because it can't really... It doesn't really have good speed control, but it is really good at blocking and protecting. It plays good on, like, against like rain teams. Well, I guess they can use flying type attacks, but it's good at blocking priority from like E speed stuff. It's good at blocking like fake outs and allows just your mons to thrive. I think it's a B tier mon because his ability is so powerful. Blocking priority is really good in this format, so we'll put it in B tier. Comfy also B tier. Its ability fast healing is really good with setup mons, and a lot of mons, especially like really bulky mons that are hard to remove, just getting a floor healing off and then go right back to their full health. It's just so it makes it so hard to beat those type of teams. Rangru, also B tier. It plays this role well as being a trick room setter. It's one of the best trick room setters. It also gets Instruct, which is a really unique move. This thing gets Defiant, but I think it's D tier. You're probably just better off using King Gambit. Palisand, Water Contraction, Water Shuriken stuff. I guess you can. I guess it's niche C tier. Meteor, Shell Smash stuff. I think if you just want to set something up, you're just better off using something else. Kamala. It's immune to sleep, so I guess it's okay. Mimikyu is amazing. Mimikyu is a really good trick room setter, so I want to put Mimikyu in B tier. I think B tier is appropriate for it. Now, we just talked about the ability blocking. So since this also gets that powerful ability, I'm going to put it in B tier. Because having eating one of those, being able to stop Trick Room, be able to block priority. And this one can also set up Trick Room. It's just super good, right? So I can't put it in C tier. It's just too good. Kuma-O is really good in this format. I think it's also a B tier mon. You can build your team around Kuma-O to support it. And you can thrive with that. Rillaboom. Right up there with Incineroar, is also one of the best Pokemon ever created. It's probably the second best starter after Incineroar, so we're gonna put it right up there. Cinderace, it's offensive. Choice Band, it does have a niche. Choice Band, like U-turn stuff, it can be pretty strong. Inteleon, same thing. Choice Specs, pretty fast, hits pretty hard. It's right there. They do about the same. They don't offer anything other than that. Greedent, this is D tier. Corviknight. Now, Corviknight is interesting. Corviknight, I think, is probably... I think Corviknight's B tier. Tailwind stuff, bulk up. Dreadnought, really cute Shell Smash stuff. Shell Smash in the rain, it was really strong in Regulation A. I think it's okay, but it falls really bad to Rillaboom that was introduced in Regulation. I believe Rillaboom came in Regulation D. So before Rillaboom was a thing, though, Dreadnought was a really good mon, but now it just goes down to Grassy Glide, right? Yeah, I think Rillaboom came back in D. And it was Rillaboom and Incineroar both invalidated a lot of mons. Colossal, it has a niche. Its ability makes it super fast. And then you can go like Rock Terror, Rock Slide, or you can go like Fire Terror, Heat Wave. It's interesting. This thing is probably D tier. So set up Dragon Sweeper. Just use Dragon Pulp. Appleton, Bulky Dragon. It's not really good. It's F tier. Similar thing. This does have a niche. You can make some strategies where it makes your opponent easier to hit. So I guess that's a niche. Sandaconda, it's just worse Tyranitar, honestly. You have to get hit to set up the sand. That's not good. This bird, it has a strategy, but it's probably D tier. Yeah, you're better off using any other. You're just better off using Pelipper. This thing can be threatening in the rain, so I'm gonna say it's C tier. Toxicroak, I think it's C tier. It can deal a lot of damage on like Tailwind teams with choice specs. So I don't want to disrespect it and put it in D tier because it is pretty good. Shell Smash, can't be faked out. Ghost Coverage, also C tier. Hatterene, really good fairy type, really good on the Trick Room. I say it's a reliable Trick Room setter. It's really good with Indeedee, right? Expanding Force stuff. It's immune. It bounced back the spore from Amoonguss. If Amoonguss tears in the water, tries to spore you, you get put to sleep yourself. So that's a really cool niche, honestly. Grimmsnarl, definitely a A tier mon. We're gonna crowd the A tier a little bit with this to give it a second row. But Grimmsnarl is a really good support mon. Screens is just so valuable in a format where the power level is lower, and Thunder Wave just gives your mon so many more turns to attack. Alcremie, Sneasel just took Decorate and kind of made Alcremie like useless, but it does have Decorate, right? But you're better off in every case just using Smeargle. So since that's the case, then we'll probably have to put it in D tier, honestly. Phalanx, it's a setup physical sweeper. It does have no retreat, but then you can't switch. I guess you don't need to switch if you're set up. I think it's a D tier mon though. Pinchurin, it's the only thing that really gets electric terrain, so it has a niche. We'll put it in C tier. I think C tier is appropriate for that. Let me know in the comment what you guys think about Pinchurin. Pinchurin is, it can work, but a lot of people just don't feel like it's worth it. But it does get electric terrain, so it does do a lot. It helps against Amoonguss too, right? So that's very interesting. Frostmoth, sorry. Quiver Dance, it's like Baby Volcarona. Does what Volcarona wants to do, just a little bit worse, but it's still really good, right? So I think Frostmoth is a B tier, especially like when you put it on a snow team and you go with like Water Terror, Terra Blast to like hit the fire types and the steel types that resist you, and the ice types. You hit them for neutral, but it's still like when you Quiver Dance a couple times, it's doing a lot of damage. It's a super specially defensive tank with its ability as well. Excuse me. This thing is Power Spot, right? Power Spot is super valuable. I think it's a niche though. But Power Spot does power up your other mons. This thing is also belly drum, then it gets fast when the ice is broken. I think it's niche. Indeedee, male, super good. I think it's a B tier mon, very reliable. It's very reliable hyper offense. Just wanted to use it. It also gets in prison trick room, so that's solid. Now female Indeedee is A tier support. Like psychic terrain is so good. It's right there. I think it's a better redirector than Magmar. I think it's who's better, Frograph. I want to say Indeedee is better. Frograph makes this. Indeedee can lead the field, and you still can't use priority, and it gets redirection. So I think it's a little bit better than Frograph. Yeah, I think this is right. Yeah, I think this is right. Because Indeedee is super good support. I think it is better than Frograph because the redirection is just so good. And Indeedee can sometimes do more damage than Frograph with Psychic when the terrain is up. Especially if it's hitting you for like neutral damage if you're not immune to it, right? This thing changes type. It's D tier though. I don't know what this is honestly doing. It gets sheer force stuff, but I think it's F tier. This is very rare for like some Gen 8, Gen 9 monsters to be F tier because they usually have the power creep on their side. Archaludon is definitely an S tier mon. The meta kind of revolves around it. I think this might be better than Ursaluna's too. It's really good. It's the epitome of the rain teams, and it's super hard for your opponents to deal with. Dragapult. Now this is interesting because Dragapult is super good, right? But I don't know if it's... Is Dragapult A tier mon? Now this is something that I gotta really think about, right? Uh, I think it's an A tier. I don't want to put it in S tier. It's so good, right? But it does have flaws. It really wants to run choice band. It's really kind of locked into that set. If you use anything else, then it's kind of like it's kind of a little worse, right? If you run anything other than choice band, because the damage output is just not there. But it is like the fastest viable mod in the format. I really like Electro, but a lot of people probably aren't fans of Electro, but I know how good it can be. And I'm just talking about natural speed, not with like abilities or items and stuff like that. Dragapult is like the fastest attacker, right? So it's always gonna have a niche. Miascarada, it's a slept on mon. It gets Trick Room, Flower Trick. It can crit like Urshifu. I think it's a good mon. I think it's just Rillaboom is so common and you don't really need multiple grass types on your team. I think that's kind of what puts it down. But I think Miascarada is a really good, well built starter. I think it just gets outclassed by other things, like especially when Flutter Mane's in the format. But Miascarada can work in a format where the power level is lower like this, so I do think it's a B tier mod. Skeledirge, it has the super good niche that it can beat Dondozo with Unaware and like Fairy Terror, so I do want to put it in C tier. Quackavall, I think it's C tier too. Its niche is that it wants to do like Aqua Step stuff and get a Moxie boost, so it's probably C tier. Unkalong, these two are F tier. They're not good. Body press stuff is okay. Spidops, Spidops good. I think Spidops is so good that we want to ban it. Right? I think that's appropriate. We gotta ban Spidops, right? Spidops is just that good. All right, low kicks, D tier. Choice band first impression is pretty tough though. Palmont, C tier. It does have a good niche. The rival blessing stuff is good. It's one of the best electro types, honestly, because there's not many. I think it is better than Raichu. The fighting coverage also gives it a different niche as being one of those Pikachu clones. But Electabuzz is probably the best electro type. So Palmont might be a close second because I don't think there's any other electric types. I guess Kilowattrel is a decent electric type too. But the pool of electric types is just not there, right? So Mousehold right there with Annihilate. It's A tier, Redirection. Frangard, Pop Bomb can one shot so many things in the format. It's super threatening. Mousehold is a really good mod in this format. I love playing with it. This thing can play with like Choice Scarf, Choice Scarf, Llama Plume on the on any fire type that gets Llama Plume. Sorry, Lava Plume, and I want to say it's D tier because it's really just a body press user, right? Because his defense is gonna get good, and there's other body press users. Arboliva, D tier. Just use Rillaboom. It has the Sandaconda effect where it has to be hit just to get grassy terrain. These get Intimidate, right? I don't think they're that good. What did I just drop them? I didn't mean to drop them. Oh, they dropped over here. Let me move this out the way. Yeah, I think they're F tier though. Garganicle, I think it's a B tier mine. Wide Guard, Salt Cure, Recover. It can be pretty annoying for on a stall team. Armarouge, excellent mine, excellent built mine. It can run 2 different sets. It can be on a Trick Room team. It can be, I think Armarouge may be an A tier mine. Fire Psychic is really good coverage. I think and also the weak armor set being activated with weakness policy makes Armarouge really threatening. Sarah Ledge, I think it's C tier.
It has a niche of like being a sweeper with, I guess you have like bulk up stuff, makes it okay. Belly bolt, I think it's D tier. I can't think of anything that takes hits and does its job better, so we're just gonna put it in D tier. Killer Wattrel, now fast electric tailwind. Um, is it better than Palmont? I think it's a B tier mine because it has also gets competitive, right? And if it gets a competitive boost and punishes, it has a role of punishing and center war for giving it a competitive boost, and it just does a lot of damage. It threatens Dondozo too, so it's a really good mine. Mabastiff, Guard Dog, I think it's niche. We're gonna put some respect on Mabastiff because it's part of the story, so I got a soft spot for it. This thing is Prankster. I think it's also niche. It doesn't do as much as Sableye, but it's prankster stuff, right? Encore and all that, so it has a niche. Bramblegas, it's a niche mine. Wind Rider stuff. Toadscrew. Toadscrew is gonna work on the Wheezing teams. So since that's the case, I think it's gonna be C tier. This is F tier. This works in restricted formats, but in this format, you're just better off. We found out that this works really well with Koraidon, with a clear amulet, but you're better off just using Lilligant, right? So it's a D tier. Rapska, niche, just like Palmot, but it does it on Trick Room teams. Espatra, I think it's C tier. It does offer a lot of niche strategies, but those niche strategies are actually pretty good. Tinkaton is one of the fake out users that can ignore Farigiraf, and it can ignore Farigiraf, it can ignore Serenas. It ignores their priority blocking, right? So I think it does have a niche. It just does no damage, right? So we'll put it in C tier. This thing is hilariously bad. This also F tier. It gets Rock Slide like 3 stabs, but it's bad. Palafin, I think it's a B tier mine. I think it's underplayed, but I think that with it having like one of the highest attack stats that's viable in the format, you really do have to give it some type of respect. But it could be better if more people figured out how to use this thing in this format, which I think it should be better, man. I think it's still a good mine. I think Haze is still a good move on it. But I think close combat is also good with the fighting coverage. It's a really cool mine. Um, I feel like it should see more. It is a good counter into a center, right, with a clear amulet. I think I want to play it Palafin. I think I want to build a team around Palafin because I really like the design of the mine, the idea of it. It's a decent mine. Rev Room, it's probably D tier. Now, Cyclozar, I can't believe this thing is not a legendary though, because it's like the pre-evolved form of Koraidon and Miraidon. So I'm very surprised it's not a legendary. But it fits in this format because it's not that good. But it does get Shed Tail. I think it's niche. It's super fast. It's a dragon normal type, so it's decent. It's also gets Shed Tail. It's some cool mods in this format that people are kind of sleep on that we haven't seen in a long time. I think this thing is C tier as well. I actually think it's B tier because it's completely immune to ground types. So, and it can iron defense body press too. It does have its own niche to earth form. Glamora is really good in this format. I think Glamora is a high B tier mine. It does its role well as setting up spikes, being on stall teams. It could be on hyper offense teams. It makes you so sashes are broken, sturdies are broken. So it's a really good mine. Houndstone. Uh, I think it's the only Sand Rush user that's not. Well, I guess Escadrille is not rock either, right? But you're probably just better off using Escadrille. But I think it's BC tier because that's last respects. Flamingo is a really good mon in this format. I think it's a B tier mon. Scrappy, it can hit. It's not. It is better than Sidui because it can run the focus sash, and the flying coverage is arguably better offensive coverage. I think it is better than Hisui the Sidui because it's a little bit faster too, right? But they're both really good. This is a snow sweeper. I think it's right there with like Lola Sandslash. It's okay. It's not that good. This thing can fillet away. I played against somebody using this on the ladder. It was terrible. I guess it's better than F tier though. Dozo. We already know where this is gonna go. Dondozo, you have to have answers to this. Now, this is the epitome of an S tier, right? I think I'm gonna put it above Dragonite because it does need Tatsugiri, but you almost always like Dondozo by itself is probably an A tier mon, but since like you're gonna run it with Tatsugiri, I do want to put it in the S tier because if you don't have an answer into Dondozo Tatsugiri, then your team can literally just lose the game, right? So put it here. This is one that's for the offensive boost. So I still think it's good. I think I just want to rank all of them because the speed, defense, and attack, they're all good versions of Dondozo, right? So I can't really put one above the other. So let's put them all up there. So we're getting to the end of the list. I don't know why this tier list keeps freezing. It's been freezing. Maybe it's because there's so many mons in it. Yeah. See, it's and I have very good internet connection, but it's been freezing, so that's why I've been. See, now it does that where it drops it anywhere. Yeah, it dropped it somewhere. I don't want Tatsugiri to just be in a tier that it's not because it's an S tier mon. And it's S tier because you use it with Dozo, right? I don't know where it got dropped at. Let's see. I can't see it, but we're gonna put the other one up there. Yeah, and that's this is the yellow one is the stretchy one. I think believe it's the speed one. You guys can see it. Leave a comment below if you see where it dropped at. I wonder, like, it has to drop somewhere, right? They don't just vanish. But I'm not seeing Tatsugiri. Oh, there it is. We found you. All right, Tatsugiri. So you want to keep making the tier list freeze. Nice. Okay. All right. So wrapping this up. Best Caliber. I think it's a really good mon. If we can ever come on. Sorry about this, guys. I'm not sure what's happening with this tier list. I think it's because there's so many mons on it. It's kind of making it load slow or something. I don't know. But Best Caliber is definitely probably a B tier mon. I think it's very similar to like Dragonite, but is it A tier? I think Best Caliber could be A tier because it is almost as good as Dragonite. It's just not flying typing, right? It doesn't have multi-scale, but it does have thermal exchange. I think if it had ability that made it bulkier, it would be a lot better. I think Best Caliber is an A tier mon because this with coaching and the loaded dice set is very unique, and it has so many stats. It's so bulky. You can invest into a lot of its bulk and speed without sacrificing a lot of attack, especially if you're using it with coaching. It's going to get the attack from there, right? So I think it's a really good mon. Godingo is one of the best mons in Gen 8. I think it is right there behind Incineroar Rillaboom. It's immune to Amoonguss. It's immune to Fake Out. It's immune to all status moves. It can set up with Nasty Plot. It has a really good speed tier. It's bulky. It has everything. It's just a very fair, balanced mon. And it's just really good in this format. I love Godingo. I do plan to hit rank number 1 with Go Dingo one day as well. And Sinister, I think Sinister, it's not an S tier. I want to put it in B tier. Um, its ability is super good. It's a really good redirector. It also offers offense because it has a very high special attack stat. It does punish Dondozo too, just having it on your team. Dondozo does not like to see Sinister. The only thing that I've seen take down Sinister when Dondozo's on the field is like a Fire Terror Blast Dondozo, or flying Terror Dondozo, because that's how you deal with those grass types, right? Well, I've seen that, especially like in Regulation A, you see that a lot to deal with Among Us and stuff. But Sinister is really good. All right, but that's gonna be it for this tier list, guys. Like again, I do want to apologize for keep freezing, but I'm not sure why it's doing it on this one. It usually doesn't do that. But we did get through it. It did take us 2 videos to make in order to get through this tier list. So let me know in the comment, guys, what you guys think below. Do you think that there's anything that you would raise or lower, or there's anything that you feel like is ranked perfectly? Leave a comment below. Like I said, this is my opinion, and it is subject to change. But this tier list is going to be based on the first Regulation H on how we played, and I feel like these mons kind of, all fit in these categories where they go. And I think in Regulation H, even the F tier mons, if you just want to use it, you can find some type of niche for it to work on the team if it's like your favorite mon. But other than that, then this, I feel like this is a very fair format, and it isn't too centralized, and you have answers into everything. Nothing is uncounterable. Everything has something that just hard beats it, and those hard things that hard beat it also have things that beat those counters, right? So it's a super fun format. But let me know in the comment what you guys think, and we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. And also, we banned Spite Ops because it's just that good. That mon is incredible, right? So we don't even want to have it on this list. It plays like a restricted. So, but that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned. More new videos soon. Deuces.